Hey, what's up guys, Philip with Trade Genius and another crypto video. So wanted to go over kind of the big three, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, and just go over where we're at. I was traveling, so didn't get a chance to get some videos out, but I'm back, so let's get to it. So let's take a look at the big boy BTC first. And so in the last couple of days here, we've been kind of edging higher, and then we finally broke out in the last 24 hours, going from just under 4K to, we were consolidating here in this triangle, and then that broke out nicely. So these breakouts, if you count it from back here at 925, you know, these can typically run for about 10 days or so. So just keep that in mind. Now this is a hourly chart, so as you can see, we're working our way through this large fib zone area. This was created from our last correction, which also kind of helped set up this new price channel that we're in. So let's take a look at the daily. All right, so daily, this is the price channel I'm talking about that we're currently in, and we've come up to this level, down, up, down, and now we're moving back up. So you know, this is our current fib target here, 5700, 5750 roughly, and I don't see any issue right now with the way price is moving and demand that we can't hit that. We're currently kind of riding this trend line, and once this move here up above 42, once we got over 4200, to me that was a green light that we're going to go and challenge all-time highs. This was a big this zone here to get through was a big one, and so that's going to go bye-bye. And now what we're working on is this smaller fib zone went up, came back, retraced to the buy zone there, and now we're working on the first target there about 4400, which would, if we consolidated a little bit there, wouldn't surprise me. If you look at the volume profile here, you can see there's a lot of accumulation that went on, going even back to June, up into this 3,000 mark. But this 22, you know, just say 2,500 area, a lot of accumulation there. So and we don't have nearly as much volume as we head up into these newer price areas, and you know, so we're just, this is all going to be above, this is price discovery. And but you can see there has been, we're starting to get some accumulation here in this 40, call it 4200 area. So you will see these areas of accumulation as people start legging into Bitcoin. But anyway, healthy looking price channel, and we are getting toppy on the daily. But you know, I think what we might see is, you may not see this come back down. When you do, we have some, you know, obviously pullbacks to manifest when we get back down into buy areas. But again, when you get into a condition like that, if you start back over here back in July, let's say, you can say it didn't really, that whole time that it was where you might think it was overbought, really didn't really pull back much, right? It came up, consolidated, and bolted higher. And so these daily oscillations, kind of a heads up, especially if you're running into, like now we have an established price channel. So obviously if we got up into this level and we saw this condition here, I would be very much looking at taking some off the table at that point. But here I think we'll probably see, if anything, a small pullback maybe, or consolidation. And you know, we are going to see some price resistance here in this 40, you know, probably this 4250 area, somewhere in here, which we're pressing up into. If we don't, then this thing could very quickly go back, test all-time highs, and then start breaking higher. It's just the nature of Bitcoin. It's what it does. So yeah, so I think big picture, I think going into the rest of the month, into next month, I think it's going to be up. I think this leg of the correction is over, and we're moving higher. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, again, you're kind of seeing where it gets embedded, right? So again, this can sustain for a while. So, but I would not be surprised if we took a breather. If we went up and hit 4,400, I wouldn't be surprised if we came back down and tested this trend line. All right, but I think this fib zone here is null and void at this point, especially if we come up and hit this 4,400 mark. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with Bitcoin at the moment. Okay, let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin, again, kind of mimic, you know, right now it's just basically kind of following the Bitcoin movements. It really outpaced Bitcoin, and this move up here got sold hard back down. This dash line kind of was like a long-term trend line, which kind of got breached, but then we bounced back above it. So where do we go from here? Well, my belief is that we're probably going to battle back up into this $60, $70 area. Okay, again, we're starting to get toppy in these areas. Now, when we get these, as you can see with Litecoin, oscillates pretty cleanly. So when we get up into these zones, you know, we could probably see either consolidation or a pullback. I would kind of like it to see this this fib zone here. It'd be nice if we could see that manifest to this this $70 area before we saw some consolidation. Whether that happens or not, may get a little topped out here, so we may consolidate. But I do think that in the big picture, and we are looking at a daily chart here, you can see where all of the volume in here in this, you know, essentially around the $50 area, lots of accumulation in there, and then we don't really have nearly as much volume above that. So this thing could start popping if we see the, you know, really for me, once we clear this last fib zone up here and clear 75, then I'm going to say that triple digits are not too far behind at all. So big picture, I think we just kind of keep grinding, but once we break above this 74, 75 area, watch out. I think then we're really going to start to see it move. And then Ethereum, again, kind of moving along with Bitcoin. We had this head and shoulders. Here, let's make this bigger. We had this head and shoulders here, and so now what we're doing is we're working back through this bearish fib zone, similar setup to Bitcoin, looking to see that this trend line holds. If it not, we probably would then pull back to this 270 area and before moving higher. Again, with Ethereum, you've got ICOs that affect its price, because if people are looking to buy into ICOs and they only take Ethereum, people are going to buy up Ethereum. But then if ICOs are the type where some of the early founders, developers can offload their coin tokens, then you'll get the sloshing effect in Ethereum from that. So that's always going to be kind of until we start seeing an abatement in ICOs, I think that's always going to be a little bit of an issue with Ethereum. So bigger picture, we are in kind of this triangle pennant, more of a pennant, I guess you would say. And I think we definitely go back up and test this upper part of the pennant. So that takes us to 384. The big picture fib actually would take us to this 520 area. And I'm currently long Ethereum too, but I kind of like to swing these a little bit on more of a larger or longer time horizon. So at 520 in Bitcoin terms, I would exit out of that back into Bitcoin, and then wait for it to pull back and reload. All right, so that's kind of the big three. Those of you in the room, we have an advanced video for you guys for some of the other positions that we're in. If you guys are interested in getting into the advanced room, click the link below, and you can see how you can sign up for that. That's it. We'll update with another video in the next day or so. So happy trading, guys. Take care.